Hello, great day everyone. Welcome. Thank you for watching Liberate Yourself from Chronic Pain with yours truly, Stephen Simon. I hope you are doing well, having a great day, feeling wonderful. I am, and I hope you are as well. I have a lot of great information for you guys today, so I would like you to grab a pen and paper. You might want to take some notes. You might want to rewatch this video, and I thank you in advance for liking and sharing this video as well, okay? So let's get started. So today I would like to talk to you guys about 10 things that you want to ask your doctor, your nurse practitioner, or your pharmacist when you receive a new prescription. Okay, so the first thing that you may want to ask is, do you really need this prescription? You want to know your options, and when any treatment is recommended, ask, what is likely to happen if you postpone this treatment? Sometimes a powerful medication is called for, and other times the best medicine is none at all. Okay, and if you watch my videos, then you know that, because I talk about, getting exercise. I talk about, the positive mental attitude, and, sometimes just medication is not needed. You can feel a lot better just by being active and nature. You might need to change your diet or anything, but we'll get into that. So, if your healthcare provider doesn't prescribe you any medication, then consider that great news, because it is. Okay? So don't pressure your doctor for any medications. Many of the new medications on the market that are heavily advertised, heavily promoted by their manufacturers, you'll see them in your Facebook news feed, on the 6 o'clock news, type of things like that. Quite often some of those medications are hazardous to your health and are often recalled off of the shelves even. Okay, so don't be in a rush to get the newest medication. Don't be cautious about asking your doctor for the newest medications whenever they are released, the stuff that you hear about on the news. Okay, now what you do want to ask about is non-drug alternatives, right? For chronic pain and other similar type of diseases, a lifestyle change may be required. You may need to exercise more. You may need to change your diet. You may need to get rid of the stress in your life. So manage the stress that's going on around you. Okay, just doing that alone may have better results than taking medications. Okay, I guarantee you. I'm talking from experience. Okay, so that's number one. Now number two is, what is the name of the medication and what dose do I take? Okay, these are what you want to ask your doctor. So you want to keep a regular and updated record of each medication that you take. Okay, so you want to note down that it's brand name, or if it's a generic name, you want to note the dosage prescribed. So let me give you an example. So that would be like Tylenol, and Tylenol's other name is acetaminophen. Okay, and then so write down the dosage is 300 milligrams and 3 times a day. So you want to keep a note of that for all your prescriptions. Okay, and then check your order when you receive it from the pharmacy, right? If the medication doesn't match the information that's in your records, then ask the pharmacist to explain what is the difference. Okay, doing this is the best way for you to protect yourself against any type of medication mix-up. Okay, that's number two. Now number three is, what is the medication supposed to do and how fast will it work? Okay, so ask your healthcare provider to tell you, why is the medication being prescribed and how may it help you? Ask if the medication is intended to prolong your life. Will it relieve your symptoms? Will it improve your ability to function? Okay, so let me give you an example. If you're given any type of, if you're given a medicine for high blood pressure, that is primarily to prevent any type of complications like a stroke or heart disease, right? Rather than stop a headache. Now, on the other hand, if you're given a pain reliever such as, ibuprofen like Motrin, then the purpose is to, help ease your headache, right? So you also want to ask, how soon should you expect results? How soon can I get relief from my headache? Okay. Drugs that treat infections or any type of inflammations may take several days to a week even to show any type of improvement. So if you get an antibiotic, they always tell you, take all of it. Take it till, all the tablets are completed, until you're finished taking all the tablets. Even if you're feeling better. And that's because it may take up to a week or more to show, for the medication to be effective. Okay. Chronic pain and arthritis drugs typically take several weeks to even start providing relief. Okay. So that's number 3. Now, number 4 is how and when do I take this medication, and for how long do I take the medication? So if medication is going to be effective, you must take them when you're told to take them. You should take it in the amounts you're supposed to take it. You're supposed to take it, and how long should you take it for as well, okay? So it's crucial, for the medication to be safe for you to take, right? And for it to be effective in use, okay? Now, the questions that you want to ask is, does this, let's say the medication says take it every 6 hours, right? So you want to ask, does every 6 hours mean 6 hours while you're awake, or 6 hours around the clock? That means even when you're sleeping, okay? Should you set your alarm to wake up out of your sleep to take that medication? And, so ask these type of questions, okay? Should the medication be taken before meals, with meals, after meals, between meals, that sort of thing? You definitely want to ask that. What should you do if you accidentally miss a dose, right? Should you skip it? Should you take a double the dose the next time that the time comes around, Or should you take it as soon as you remember? Okay, so those are the type of questions that you need to ask your healthcare provider, your nurse practitioner, your pharmacist. Okay, should you refill and continue taking the medication when it's completed, or until you have fewer symptoms, or until you finish the medication? These are the type of questions that you want to ask, okay? So as I said before, you may want to re-watch this video. You may want to write it down and take notes. And you definitely want to share this video so other people can get this knowledge as well. And I'm going to thank you in advance for sharing it. Thank you for liking it. And if you're watching this on YouTube, again, thank you for subscribing, okay? Now, number 5 is, what food or drinks or other medications or activities should I avoid while taking this medication, right? So some food may help, protect the stomach from the medications that you're taking, but other, foods or drugs, can also interfere, can make the drugs ineffective, right? So let me give you an example. Would be like milk products or dairy products, can block the absorption of the medication going into your bloodstream, right? Okay, So, and then also some drugs are best taken on an empty stomach. Okay, so these are the type of questions that you need to ask your doctor. Okay, now some medications are even, believe it or not, sensitive to the sun and could put you at risk for sunburn. Okay, that's new. I've never heard of that happening to anybody, but I did some research and I found that as well. So you may want to ask questions. That's definitely one of the questions that you want to ask your doctor. Okay, you want to ask whether a medication, will interfere with your driving, or operating any heavy machinery. You want to operate it safely as well. If you get into an accident and they find that you're taking medication and it caused you to let's say become drowsy or something, and you will be liable in that accident. Okay, so it'll be your fault. Okay, so you really got to be careful when you take your medications. Kind of time it out to your daily activities as well, and make sure that it's safe to use. Okay. What else here? If you're taking medication and alcohol, okay, I spoke about that in another video as well, and I strongly recommend that you avoid taking alcohol with your medications as well. Okay, even other drugs like any recreational drugs, any over-the-counter type of drugs also can amplify or lessen the effect of your prescribed medication. All right, so you want to be careful with that as well. The more medications that you're taking, the greater the chance you have of any undesirable drug interactions. Okay, and I made a video about drug interactions as well. How different drugs can make some whatever you're taking less effective. So you want to be careful about any possible drug-to-drug interactions or any drug-to-food interactions. Okay, so that's number 5. Number 6, what you want to be careful or ask about is what is the most common side effect, and what should you do if it occurs, right? So all medications have side effects. Okay, you may not feel it all the time, but they do. Okay, hair loss is a side effect. Okay, you're not necessarily feeling that, but it happens, believe it or not. Okay, so you need to look out for that as well, and what to do if they develop. Should you seek any medical attention? Should you discontinue the medication? Should you call your healthcare provider? These are the type of questions that you want to ask. Now, your doctor and your nurse, sometimes they may not be expected to describe every type of side effect possible, that you can expect to experience, but you want to discuss the most common ones and the most important ones as well. Okay, so number 7 here is that you want to ask your doctor if there are any tests necessary to monitor the use of the medication as well. Okay, so most medications are monitored, by whether the symptoms improve or get worse, right? That's how you know if it works. You take it, you feel better, it works. If you take it, you don't feel better, it doesn't work, right? Or it worsens. Okay, but some medications, can disrupt the body chemistry before any symptoms even develop. Okay, so sometimes these adverse reactions can be detected by lab work, doing tests such as blood count or any type of liver function tests. Okay, so in addition to that, the levels of some medication in the blood need to be measured on a regular basis to make sure that you're getting the right amounts. So in this situation, you want to ask your healthcare provider if the medication has any special requirements. Okay, now let me tell you about me. I take one of my medications is a hydroxyurea, and for that medication, every month, the beginning of the month, the first week of every month, I have the order, I take it in, and they photocopy it. I keep the original, and they know what drug tests, what blood tests to perform on me. Okay, so I do this every single month, and again, the levels, my blood levels, based on the results of my blood levels, my healthcare provider, my hematologist knows how to go forward, how to prescribe that medication for me, how much I should be taking, or whether it needs to be increased or decreased. Okay, so that is number 7. Number 8 is if you decide that I don't want to take this medication anymore, or stop for a little while, or can I just stop cold turkey type of thing. If a drug doesn't seem to be providing any if it doesn't seem to be improving any of your pain or any of your other symptoms, is it not allowing you to do more? Is it causing like unacceptable side effects, that you don't like? You may feel tempted that you want to stop taking it, right? But you shouldn't do that, So some drugs, especially for chronic pain and other conditions as well, it can't be stopped just suddenly. They need to be tapered. And what I mean by that is that they need to be reduced gradually, okay? The dosage needs to be reduced gradually. And, tapering needs to be done under the supervision of your healthcare provider, okay? So it's important that you don't attempt to do this on your own. You talk to your healthcare provider about which drugs need to be tapered and how it can be done safely, okay? That's number 8. Okay. Now, number 9 is there a less expensive alternative or generic medication? Okay, that's what you want to ask. Now, every drug, has at least 2 names. Okay, it has a generic name and it has a brand name. Okay, now the generic name is a drug's chemical name. Okay, it's used to refer the medication in the scientific world. So most physicians and people that work in the lab will use it, refer to it by that name, the generic name. Okay, so generic names are also used for certain drugs that are not marketed under the brand name. Okay, and the brand name is the unique name given to the drug by its developer. Okay, so when a drug company develops a new drug in the United States, it is granted, they get exclusive rights to produce that drug for up to 17 years. Okay, if a drug is developed in Canada, then they get exclusive rights for that drug for up to 20 years. All right, and then after this period, this is the important part. Okay, this is why I'm telling you now. After this period, other companies may market chemical equivalents of that drug. Okay, and then these generic medications are generally, considered safe and effective as the original brand name drug, but even more so, it costs much less. Okay, that's the good news. It costs much less. And in some cases, your provider may give you a good reason. They may have a good reason for referring you to a particular brand. But even if so, if cost is a concern, then ask if a less expensive but equally effective medication is available. Okay, so you definitely want to ask that if cost is a concern. I'm going to say it again. If a less expensive but equally effective medication is available, all right? So you may also be able to save money by knowing how to use your insurance, okay? Hopefully you have insurance, okay? So use it to your advantage if you do. So for example, you know, they are the co-payer. They pay, let's say they pay 80% of your medications, and you pay 10%, you know. So your co-payment may be less if you obtain your medication from a designated company that the insurer uses, okay? And I've experienced that as well, where, you know, if I go to a certain pharmacy, I get the medication at a lower cost, okay? So other pharmacies have discount programs, you know, they may have it for seniors, and they may also have it for individuals with low income, okay? So it pays to really ask these type of questions, and it's wise to shop around, okay? So like anything else, you know, different stores may sell the same medication at different prices, okay? So that's number 9. And then the final one, number 10, okay, is, you know, does the doctor have any written information about the medication that you're taking? So your doctor or your nurse practitioner, you know, they may not always have the time to answer all the questions that you have, but, you know, and you also, even if they do, you may not remember everything that was told to you, okay? So you sometimes you may want to ask for literature. Do they have any literature that you can take home with you? Okay, any pamphlets, anything that can be printed out. You may want to search the web. You may want to, you know, ask your pharmacist, your local pharmacist. They don't charge you to ask. If you ask questions, they're not going to charge you. You don't even have to have a prescription. You can go to the pharmacy and ask the pharmacist questions as well. Okay, so use that to your advantage. You know, use all your resources as well. Okay, I hope this video was valuable to you. I hope you got a lot of great information here. Hopefully you took notes. You may need to rewatch it. I'm going to thank you for sharing, and thank you for you know, subscribing to this channel. Thank you for liking this video as well. Okay, so I hope this helps you to liberate yourself from chronic pain. This is Stephen Simon. I love you. I appreciate you for watching, and have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye-bye.